Hi, I'm Katie with Modern Textiles, and today we're going to go over the top 5 quilt blocks for beginners. These are great foundational quilt blocks to use that you can scale up, use with scraps, and I'm going to work throughout the year 2026 of pulling together great calculators to make these easily scalable, so that way you can use whatever scraps you have on hand and make your next quilt. All right, so our first block we're going to work on, which if you are not super beginner, you may want to fast forward a little bit. I'm going to work on a 4-patch block right now. So this is super simple, very basic, but they're very convenient. You can use them, and you can also do like a disappearing 4-patch, which I'll work on another video for it, but that is a thing if you want to Google it now. And very versatile block that can be used anywhere. I'm going to show you a very traditional way to piece this. There's also a way to strip piece. So you might have 2 strips that are this width of the black and the white, and you'll just sew the width of the fabric. So 40 inches, 40-ish inches. And then from there, you'll press your seam and then take that full strip and then you'll cut them. So that way, essentially, these are already pre-sewn together and you'll just match 2, and that way you can just sew them like that. So there's ways to make this a quicker block, but for now, I'm just going to show you the easiest way to make it with the standard patches. These are just some fabrics from my scrap stash that I'm happy to use up today. So first things first, I'm going to just go ahead, and this is called webbing. I'm going to sew my black piece over to my white and then follow straight up behind it with my white piece over to my black. And that way you'll see that come out, and we'll press it. All right, so I have the 2 sewn together and they're connected by that little piece of thread. That just allows for me to piece more efficiently, and also, I hate to say it, use less thread. But essentially that is the case, as well as just making sure I have clean stitches throughout both. So I'm just going to go ahead and finger press to the light side. You could finger press to the dark side. You could press open if you like. Either way, these are more natural, less opaque, light fabric that I'm using, so I'm not too worried about anything showing through. And then I like to nest my seams. This is my preferred method. That way you just know you're going to have a nice interlocking seam. So nesting just means that essentially your 2 pieces of fabric, wonder if I can get that shown there. There we go. Your 2 pieces of fabric kind of interlock there. And that way, you know, they're going to be a nice crisp point. So there is your 4-patch. And from there, you're just going to want to go ahead and press your seams. That way you have a nice 4-patch block. All right, the next block we're going to use or create is going to be a 9-patch block. So once again, very similar to the 4-patch. You could piece this a lot quicker by strip piecing. So you would just take, I'm using different varying colors of pinks and blues. You could take a pink, blue, and a pink with the fabric, sew those 3 together, press your seams, and then you would slice to make just essentially 3 strips. And then that way you could sew it very quickly. With these being used for my scrap stash, having to sew a little bit longer with doing each individual piece, that's just the way the world works when you're working with scraps, but it's a good use for scraps, some of these simpler blocks. So you'll see I'm going to web my 9-patch together. So what I like to do is just stack all these. So this is essentially what you would do with a quilt top if you're webbing a quilt top. And then that way, I'm going to take these 2 to my machine. I'm going to keep them in the same stacks, and I'll sew these top 2 together, the middle, and then the end, and then I'll come over and grab this other one, and then I'll add the 3rd column to it. All right, so now I just have 2 seams left because I have these all pieced together in their rows. What I'm going to do is go ahead once again, press my seams to one side, and I'm going to alternate per row so I can nest those seams again. If you have a hot iron, this would be the great time to break it out. And then from there, I'm just going to fold these two together, and you'll have that other one dangling right here. Just ignore that, but make sure it doesn't get caught up under your foot at all. And there you have your 9-patch block. From here, I would just go ahead and press everything nice and smooth. I'd press my seams one way. The big thing is, if you were to do a whole quilt with 9-patch blocks, I would just make sure you're alternating between blocks, pressing your seams up or down, so that way you can nest your whole quilt top with the different seams. All right, so this is going to be our third block. This is the Courthouse Steps. What I like about this is that it's no trimming. That's a big perk. And it's just a basic quilt block that, once again, great for scraps. So I have everything cut out here, and I'm just going to walk you through how we're going to put this together. So I'm just using 2.5-inch strips. These were all from my stash, and they're just scrap binding I had, so you'll know some have seams, but it's a great purpose for it. So I've got my 2.5-inch square center. I'm going to go ahead and sew these 2 squares onto either side of that, press them, and then I'll attach these 2, press, attach these 2, press, attach these 2, press, and then these 2 press, and then the last 2 press. So that's going to be how we move for this quilt. So it's nice, you can do 2 seams at once and go from there. You could make this super low volume. You could really play a lot with colors on this block. So let's hop to it. All right, and there you have it, your Courthouse Steps. So super simple, just double each of your quantities and then just keep adding 4 inches to each block if you're using 2.5 inches for your strips. All right, we are now gonna make a log cabin quilt block. So I've already gone ahead and pre-cut everything. I'm starting off with a 2.5-inch center square, and then essentially we're gonna work in a spiral design. So with the Courthouse Steps, we did 2 seams for each block. So you started off with your center square, did 2 blocks to attach that. This one's going to be a single seam, and we just work in this spiral to churn out a square block. All right, there you have it. You have your log cabin block. Super simple. Once again, no trimming necessary, so it's very easy to use scraps and to just continue to sew round and around. And we've got one more to show you, and it'll be super quick. Last but not least, I'm going to show you my favorite building block, if you will. It's a half square triangle. I already have another video that goes over the different methods to make this in high quantities. So I'm just going to show you the two at a time real quick, especially because this video is geared towards beginners. So might as well show you the fastest way, especially scrap friendly way. What I did is I used my Hera marker. It pretty much indents a line right down the center of the fabric there. So I have a 45 degree, and I'm going to go ahead and just sew a 1/4 inch seam on either side of that line. So I sandwich my two fabrics together, and we'll go from there. All right, now that I have that done, I'll take my ruler, line it up right on that marked line I made, cut it, and then simple as that, you have your half square triangle. And you'll just want to go ahead and trim this, press, then trim, or you can use the clearly slotted trim tool that I use, and you can just trim it while it's folded and then go ahead and press, whatever works best for you. I hope you enjoyed these top 5 beginner quilt blocks today, and I will see you in the next video. Let me know, do you have any other quilt blocks you want me to show you tutorials on or make calculators for? Drop it in the comments. In the next video, I'm going to show you how I set up my quilt studio so I can have the most productive time with longarm quilting, making sample quilts for my patterns, as well as working on commission quilts when I'm hired to do so.